So what if I told you that there was an event where you get to ride your bike over the Westgate Bridge with about 10,000 other people? Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Well, that's Bicycle Networks Around the Bay. Back in April, when registration opened, after carefully reviewing the rules to find out that e-bikes are indeed allowed, I signed up for the 100-kilometre ride. I should have the range in the batteries and my legs to do that. Wait for it. That's 10,000 kilometres. Thing is, this bike's not quite seen all the maintenance it deserves. I'm going to show you what that is, and how to get it back into optimum working condition. We'll start by cleaning everything off, and to make this easier we'll remove the wheels. This bike's fitted with a rear hub gear instead of the traditional derailleur and gear cassette setup. While rear hub gears are incredibly convenient for city riding because you can change gear without pedalling if you have to come to a sudden stop, they make removing the rear wheel a little more complicated as you have to detach the shifter cable from the hub, which is part of the rear wheel. Dishwashing detergent is pretty good for this. It'll remove dirt, oil and grease without being harsh on the paintwork. We want to remove all of the oil and grease from the parts because over time it gathers up sand, dirt and brake dust, turning it into grinding paste. An old toothbrush is also handy for scrubbing out smaller parts, but I wouldn't clean my teeth with it after I'm done. I still need to check the chain wear, but the tool to do that hasn't arrived yet. Once the chain and sprockets are clean, reassemble, reattach the shift cable, and turn the adjuster until the yellow marks line up in 4th gear. After changing the brake pads, you want to adjust how the brake caliper sits so it's not rubbing on the disc as you ride. Loosen the bolts, apply the brakes, then tighten the bolts back up again with the brakes still applied. Of course, after we're done cleaning, we'll want fresh lubrication put back on again, but I'm not doing that in here on the carpet. Clean the bag straps where they attach to the bike. Accumulated dirt will turn these into sandpaper and wear the paint off as they rub on the frame. Due to the length of the event, we'll need to think about how to power the GoPro. It'll last for about 40 minutes on battery. I'm planning to mainly record a time-lapse from the handlebars and record clips via remote control from another one on my helmet. The handlebars camera is easy. We'll just use a power bank and put it in this 2-peak fuel tank bag here, and it can sit in there with the battery for the much brighter front light I use on unlit sections of trail when nobody's coming the other way. The helmet's a little trickier. Obviously it will be pretty dangerous just to run a cable up to it. I've got something in mind for that and I'll show you that in another video. The middle bag is a 2-peak mid-loader in the medium 4.5 litre size. This length fits the frame perfectly and is the perfect size to hold a spare e-bike battery. I'll probably stash some tools in here as well to save some space in the rear bag. The rear bag is a 2-peak trunk bag DXP. It secures to the rear rack with velcro straps and has a main compartment that can expand slightly, but if that's not enough space for you, dual panniers unzip from the sides. I'd like to avoid using the panniers for the event, so hopefully I can fit everything I need into the main compartment. I've bought some Schwalbe Pro 1 tyres, which should have significantly lower rolling resistance than the Schwalbe Marathon Plus touring tyres currently fitted. This is probably overkill, but I really wanted to see just what the difference would be like. The Marathons weigh just over 1 kilogram each, whereas the Pro 1s only weigh in at about 200 grams, a significant reduction in weight to get spinning. The disadvantage of this is that they're a lot more fragile. Compared to these, which look like a thin sock over the inner tube, the Schwalbe Marathons are practically indestructible. So I'm going to be carrying this tiny pump, a spare inner tube and some inner tube patches, but as it would give your arms a significant workout to pump a tyre all the way back up, we can cheat a little. These metal canisters are full of high pressure carbon dioxide and one of them contains enough gas to pump a bike tyre most of the way back up. I'm also going to add some liquid sealant to the tubes. While this adds a little bit of weight, it will stop any small leaks before they start. I'm clearly trading durability for lower rolling resistance, less effort and less battery usage. Will this trade-off come back to bite me? I certainly hope not, but we'll just have to see. This bike being inspired by the classic Dutch commuter design means it normally has a relaxed upright riding position, but there's a secret weapon. It's adjustable. I know it's aluminium, but why does it have to be so galling? so we can put it all the way down and sit in a more aerodynamic position for maximum speed, but you will have to readjust everything that's mounted on the handlebars. Well, I think you can probably guess how this is going to end. At first the announcement came in that they were looking to reschedule for a better time, but sadly they were unable to do so. The councils weren't happy to have a major event going on Bayside during the busy summer period, and the Westgate Bridge was scheduled to already be losing lanes due to roadworks, so it just couldn't go ahead at that time. It has sadly since been cancelled. The second year in a row since 2020 was cancelled for obvious reasons. So my entry's been rolled over to 2022. But you know what? As I like to say, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this properly. So I'm going to upgrade my registration to go, well, around the bay, on the classic 210 kilometre route. From Albert Park, through Altona, Little River, Geelong, down to Queenscliff, across to Sorrento on a ferry, back by a safety beach, Frankston, Mordialloc, and returning back up to Albert Park. I should be able to make the minimum riding speed to qualify, but I might have to borrow another battery, or two, to make the distance. Stay tuned.